So this is the next day that I'm gonna finish this video. Well, despite everything, I have to thank, for instance, a German guy from Vienna who came and posted on the Google Maps for me. I don't know what to make out of this stuff other than what I'm gonna do for the finish of this video. This is actually the same day. I was just recording that stuff earlier hours. Now I'm gonna finish this stuff. And so what I will tell you is everything that you need to know about me and Waldheim. This video is gonna be interesting to people for some time to come. I didn't finish the whole thing. Sankt Andre Fördern. Fördern. It should be with V only, but Würden. Aha, Würden. Würde. Ah, Würde. Yeah, I did not thought about that stuff. Okay, Würde. Würde, Stolz, Ehre. That's a different story. That's I understand now. A Saint Andrew pride. This is a pride of the Saint Andrew. I didn't thought about it. Maybe it was late at night. I have no idea. And so, okay, that's true. That's true. Okay. So, for me to finish this stuff, it's like this. Sankt Andre Würden. Okay, Würde, it's something different. Okay, so I zoom myself inside here and I preferably turn on the like this view, and then I go to the bus station. Ah, it's here. There you go. This is in other part of the. You see, earlier I did here somewhere in this area. I don't know where it was. Here somewhere, and now I'm gonna do here. They were trying to screw me up with. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna discuss in this portion of the video. For me to finish this stuff. To finish it off properly. I want to do it exactly the way it was. So this is a Parkeerplatz here, bus station. It's abandoned now, but it was not always like this. So I'm gonna take the street maps like this. I'm not paranoid, but Angela Merkel is listening to this stuff. She was paranoid. You know how paranoid she was? She said, when I hear the bus station, it's all over. Germans were completely paranoid about this stuff. And this is what they would no longer deliver me, I don't know, since 2000 and... Yeah, I'm gonna get to this issue. Let's just leave this stuff alone right now. For the moment, let's just leave it alone. So this is the older part of the city here, you know. And his property was just here off this older part of the city. Here they would not build. You see, the water would get all the way up to here. You see this bridge here? That's why they would not build. That would be for the poor people. Have to be crazy a little bit to come here. And it looks like that from Kurt Waldheim, uh, this was for the poor people here. They decided they will build here. Yeah, these people were everything but crazy. Don't worry about it. So, with the Kurt Waldheim, when I would come with a car, when they would deliver me, with the Kurt Waldheim, I would come with the car here, right here. He drove his, I don't know, BMW, whatever it was, Audi, whatever it was. And this is where he would go. This is where we would go. Right here. This. Right here, through this gate. This here. They would open the gate here and he would go right inside in here. This is where he would leave the car. So this is very kind of a difficult, in a way, to go through this stuff to see what's going on here. And yeah, and it's in a completely other part of this city or village. So this is where he would leave the car, but this is not his house here. This is the house of what became a young politician. He got a university degree, and this is young Austrian politician. And I have to find out who is this politician, who also was involved in MK Ultra. And they would give him sometimes some soup stuff to eat. And then obviously he was paying a monthly fee or whatever to park the car, or I don't know, friendship or whatever. Then he would walk here. Actually, we would walk here. And in this houses here is the house right there in the back that you see, that you cannot even see it. That will be his house. So this was well camouflaged. Really done in such a way so that you will not know. Here I was with Angela Merkel, we visited and so on. So just as I described, this is the house like our house. Well, not so big, just as I stated, but modern house, modern looking house like this, you know. Precisely what it is. I don't know. I thought that he has a girlfriend also here. Let's leave that subject alone. So the Kurt Waldheim house, go here like this, right there. Ask Angela Merkel about it. Okay? Just ask Angela Merkel about it. Just ask Angela Merkel about it. Kurt Waldheim, Austria. Well, Americans resented me enormously with my pushing Germans all of a sudden. I remember that as they would go on these diplomatic missions, as they would take me on these diplomatic missions, so they used me for these diplomatic missions. Everything that you read on the Kurt Waldheim resume between from 1972, everything was done through me. Literally everything was done through me. Not only pertaining to the Kurt Waldheim, but also pertaining to Austrian economy. all the money, everything Austria was making in respect to, you see how they were desperate for the Russian gas. I yet have to learn what went on with the Russian oil and stuff, about their investments and so on. Everything, the whole Austrian Autobahn economy, everything went literally through me. Everything. Kurt Waldheim was the one who outlined the Austrian economy, absolutely everything. And it was not only Austrian, it was also German. Everything, all the money, everything, every fucking thing, everything. How much money we're talking about? Who knows? Maybe more than $1 trillion, maybe trillions of dollars, I don't know. But 1972 was a long time ago. That's how big this case is. That's how big this stuff was. That's how dirty this stuff is. I can already hear Angela Merkel, that's not true, that's not true. Well, I have proofs that's true. I have proofs. This half Czech, half German politician, if you read his resume, I was gonna add this stuff together, and now I decided I'm not gonna do it. I am gonna take time and do the video the proper way. This will be part number 2. So now you're gonna learn what Germany is, what Austria is, what kind of character this is. You see, his last name is Walter Václavík. Not really Walter, but child of the Walter Václavík. So his last name is Václavík. Really is a Václavík. Is a Czech origin. And his wife was Slovenian origin. Her name was Josephine Petrač. You see, Petrač and Václavík. You could almost say that this guy was nothing German. Based on what I see right there, this guy really was nothing German. This was, I would consider one as a German. I would not consider one as a Slovenian, and I would not consider one as a Czech. I would consider one absolutely as German. He saw himself as a German, and I would say that this was, I like this guy. This is very controversial statement I'm gonna make for some people, especially because of the continuation. But this was just a guy from Europe. European guy was this guy who did not have a choice. He did not have a choice other than to report himself to Hitler, basically. I really like this guy. I started to like this guy. All through, I'm not gonna favor him. I'm gonna curse him out in this video because his character is the one of Joseph Fritzl. But I like this guy, and I want you to understand, and you will feel the same. It doesn't matter if you are Israeli or doesn't matter if you're a Jew or you're, I don't know with whom he had a problem with. The Serbs are gonna love him anyways. Russians love him anyways, so that's not gonna make any difference. So if you're a Jew, okay, I am more now like Jew in this video. You're gonna like him anyways once I'm done doing this video, because what I'm about to tell you is exactly the way it is. This is a classic guy from middle of the Europe that simply reported himself to Adolf Hitler after he even had altercation with the Nazis. This was the guy, and it really is true. This is true. I know it's true because it's a Czech Slovenian guy. So I know that he was, with his heart, this guy was Austrian. This guy was not German. But in Austria they speak German. So what happened with this individual, with this Veclavik? Look, Veclavik, look. Veclavik is Český Veclavik. His father, I don't know, they attacked Nazis, whatever is written here, when Austria invaded. And he was protesting against the Germans. He literally was protesting Nazis entering, Germans basically entering Austria. He did not protest Nazis, but he protests unification of Austria with Germany. He did not like the idea about Austria and Germany together. So he had a political problems. He became a political problem. They talk here about how he was 192 and stuff like that. So what? Before he was 192, his father was arrested by Gestapo, look, you see, and dismissed from his post. Waldheim scholarship was cancelled, so he campaigned. See this here? Waldheim opposed the German annexation of Austria in 1938. So who was this guy? This guy was just some, Austro-Hungarian, Czech. It doesn't matter who would it be. Slovenian, Hungarian, Serbian, Polish, whoever. From actually even not very wealthy family located in area of Vienna in Austria. He actually built the house, if you pay attention, where there was a flood area. It was not even, I don't know what. This was for the poor people. This is where you build a house knowing that you're going to have a flood. This bridge here is what I was told determined the level of the water. So nothing below this bridge, they told me. This bank here that you see, this is the old principle based on which they built. And now if you did not have the money, then you have to go here in this area and build this stuff here. Israelis were here already with Benjamin Netanyahu, with the whole crew. They smoked, they were angry about it, about this stuff. They would not want to listen to the stuff I'm talking about. Okay, so maybe if you're Israeli, you're not going to like it anyways. Alright. I'm not doing it to insult you. I'm not doing this to insult you, to hurt your feelings. I don't like doing that stuff. Not in this case, okay. Maybe some other time, but this time not. When it comes to this Nazism and stuff, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So, this is old house here. And, well, his house is upgraded here. This was also more like a poverty here. And they upgraded it. It was quite decent house. There's nothing to say. Nice. I love these trees. I always love the trees. I love the trees. I love the nature so much that it really helped me out around. The water, this birches, the trees, it just helped me out know where I am. Literally by the trees, by the water is where you help yourself a lot. At least I did. It always caught my interest because it was something always nice in the trees. You ever find yourself in MK Ultra? Trees are really, really source of peace, tranquility, and it helps. And so one thing about this guy, about the Kurt Waldheim, this could be anybody. I'm not trying to advocate him because he was not a good man. This was not a good person. That's why I said that at the end of the video you're going to agree with me anyways. You're going to like me, but you're not going to like him anyways. It's like this. Maybe you're going to like him even. Maybe you will like him. I don't know. In a way I like him. In a way I like him. In a way I don't like him. You're going to see what he did to me. And what I will view as a lie, as a manipulation only, what could it be? And then the reality of what it was. Kurt Waldheim, the truth is, I told you in part number 1, I was extremely spoiled when I was a kid because of British royals. Well, British royals were my competitors, and they knew it. They were my competitors. Competition. Well, the thing about British royals is they had castles, they had cars, they had fame. They had anything they want. But there is one thing they did not have. They did not have me. And they needed me. And they also had me. In a way they had me, in a way they did not have me. I became a really expensive item for them. They depended on. Even if they didn't want to depend on, they were brought to the table by other people, by Americans, by Israelis even. Israelis big time. By the Russians, by whoever. Even if they didn't want, they had to. And so I didn't see myself as an ordinary person. I was in the car of Josip Broz Tito. I was in these palaces in Yugoslavia from Josip Broz Tito, which was fairly luxurious, really luxurious. Okay, luxurious, acceptable on a level. And I figure out when it was an Austrian politician like this who said to me, Waldheim said to me, he noticed that I liked his older daughter, and then it was the younger one that was also, she's older than myself, but not such a big age difference, whatever, but still older than myself. Let's see that stuff again so that I don't make mistake about this stuff. It would not make any difference really. I said to myself, would you move here to this place here? And I said to myself, no. And why would I not move there? Because of a simple reason. When I was young, I wasn't allowed to be here. When I got older, I don't want to have a monkey business around me. Simple as this. This is why Kurt Waldheim. This one here, Natural, is 80 years old. This was a very good looking lady. They were playing with me with this. Both of them are good looking ladies. You know, both of them. I'm not saying anything. And then this one here, Karas. This guy just could not get away with it. You know, one was Karas, the other one was Natural. And then Gerhard Waldheim, that's another story. We can discuss maybe not. I let it be. But Natural and Karas. Okay, with this one here, with the Karas, this one is, she got married in 1987. You see, Otmar Karas. Look. Okay. So this is the one he started to flirt me with, that this could be my wife, etc., when I was a child. But clearly, just look at the date when she got married. She got married in 1987. In 1987. And I was very disappointed when that stuff happened. Well, they're not going to be laughing after I release this video. When you're going to have a police stopping at your place and you're going to be talking to the police, you are not going to be laughing anymore about it. You laugh for 53 years with my being thrown literally into psychiatric hospital, but after this video it's going to get hot for you, because it's going to be a whole Germany and a whole Austria that will be looking at you. It won't be funny to you no more. Kurt Waldheim told me that he has daughters for me, that he has his daughter for me, this daughter here. Yeah, they don't say what her age is, but she's probably about 60. It doesn't matter. Finally, it doesn't matter. In 1987, I just entered. This was my second grade of the high school. The high school, basically. So that tells you something, that this is probably about 10 years older lady than myself. At least a few years older than myself. So Kurt Waldheim told me like this, you know. He said to me, well, you know, and this is a daughter, and you know, you're gonna marry my daughter and you're gonna live here, and this is gonna be your home, etc., etc. And I was like, no, I am not gonna fucking do that. And he said, why not? And I said, well, because, you know, I told him this, you know, a house. He said, no. I said, you know, no. And he immediately recalled British royals who were so involved in this stuff, and he was insulted. I didn't want to stay in his home. I wanted to be in Vienna, in a palace. This is the way it was. I had my requirements. I had my level. I have my demands. No. For the stuff I go through, for the Germany and for the Austria, I wanted the fucking palace. I want castle, not castle, but castles. So you want to have a daughter? You're going to give me you're gonna be wealthy with a good-looking daughter. I had my requirement, and this requirement was so bad that British royals started to hate me consequently. I wanted to have a good-looking Fräulein with blue eyes and with the parents that own several castles. That's it. If you don't have it, the fuck out. That's it. This is how I was as a child. This is what was in my head. Uh, if it was not Mercedes that come to pick me up and stuff like this and deliver me and stuff, it was just not good. It was just not good. This is the way it was. It worked good with the wealthy people, with the rich people. The whole thing became even worse. The whole thing became even worse. They went completely insane. They that's where you have this Rolex, and that's where you have all this shit. People dumping money and on Rolls Royces, and the British economy exploded with all these luxurious products and stuff. I was just a fucking magnet for the money. Where I appeared, it was just, you know, it was just not for the poor people. If the wealthy people were next to me, it was just not for the poor people. Now, in one way, this was good. In other way, this created a total breakdown of the society, actually. Krach, completely. Finish of the, you know. Some people went completely crazy about this stuff, you know. Sometimes it looked already like it's going to be revolt in very unlikely locations in Europe. So I had my ways, and it was very, very bad what I did to Kurt Waldheim. I hurt him. He was hurt. He was doing his job with a heart for Austria and for the Germany. This was a soldier. I don't like saying that. I don't like thinking that he was a Nazi soldier, but he was a Nazi soldier. But the thing is, like I said, whoever you were, if you did not report yourself to the Nazi army when they called you in the army, you know, you could end up as well as my dad. Basically, this is just the way it is. And as you see, this shit is everywhere. It's in Russia today, in 2025, in 2024. It was everywhere. It's everywhere like this. It's simple as this. So he's guilty when it comes to this Nazi crimes and stuff. What different possibly he could do? Everybody in life is running for, you know, it doesn't matter where you are, or you're in Israel, every one of you in IDF or whatever you are, you're running for, you know, about the daily life. Every one of you come home, eats the soup maybe, and then you have to put the gun back on your back and rush back on the streets, or in, you know, if you have a chance to stop by at home to say hello to your people, whatever. But we live in a world where everything is done in a hurry, and, you know, you just have to go with a wave, or you stay behind, you lag behind, and that's it. It doesn't matter where you are. This is just the way it is. So that much he is guilty, in my opinion. I don't think he was a bad person, because in a way he knew how to lie. You know, he lied to me. You know, it's just like extremely efficient. You know, obviously there is a big age difference between her and me. It was quite unrealistic, the stuff. I look at it. Maybe this is they feel so comfortable about, so good. The truth that would be unlikely that would come out, but it will, and it will look ugly for Austria and for the Germany. It will really, really look ugly. People will definitely look a little bit themselves into the mirrors, and they will definitely look a little bit behind the shoulders as they're gonna walk on the street. They will look one another differently because there was no German in the history of the Germany that would be more supportive for the Germans than I was. There was not even one German. You know, they had a lot of wannabes. They have Kaisers, they have Hitler, they had all kinds of people that, pledged on whatever, but MK Ultra, this is a different type of stuff. The MK Ultra is a single session, maybe, that I have gone through on a regular basis would maybe kill every heart patient. If you have a heart problems with a trauma, I don't think there would be one heart patient that would survive one, a single one. And I told you that I was subjected to MK Ultra for more than 10 years, 24/7. Probably about, I estimate, between 12, maybe more years that I was subjected to MK Ultra. This is the immensity of this garbage. Jucked up, imagine, more than 10 years. Let's just say 10 years jucked up. That's a lot. That's enormously a lot. And it was likely 12 years plus. And if the heart would not destroy you, mentally, they tested people, it would leave you impaired in some psychiatric hospital. If not immediately, over the course of the time, it would destroy you completely. It was estimated that about 2-3 of these MK Ultra sessions that I would go through would destroy most of the people, would impair them mentally. So they say that MK Ultra is about a trauma, and I'm gonna say that people who say this don't know anything about what they say, because I have no respect for them whatsoever. People who say this don't know anything about what trauma is, because for them, for the shit, it doesn't matter anyways, right? I meet beasts here from the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje and from the police and so on. These people are completely inhumane. And so why would I talk about what MK Ultra is about? I mean, is it the same to be subjected to trauma for 12 years or 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or 3 months? For them is the same. And I'm going to say to you that 3 months, if you can survive traumatized under MK Ultra, it's not a joke. For them is the same. If you do it for 50 years, as it was in my case, or you do it for 3 months, it's the same shit. So what people say, what people think, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. It didn't help me either. During MK Ultra, I started to think about what people think, what people say. I'll be gone already a long time ago, without any trace. As you see, without any trace, you see what kind of conscience they have, what this is about. The last thing Austria did to me, insult-wise, was right here in Slovenia when they closed the store known as OMV, OMV. gas stations that were across Slovenia claimed me that they were losing the money with them, and not that they were making money with me. They told me, you say that you claim that we make the money with you, so we close also the gas stations. I'm never going to forget the day when they opened the gas stations here in Slovenia before I left the United States in 95. How I was beaten up, tortured because of OMV. The price I paid for the Austrian OMV to be in Slovenia, which I wanted. For the Deutsch, for the Germans, everything is frei. Everything is ganz without the cost. Everything is zero cost. Everything is Geschenk, like Germans say. Everything is Geschenk. I don't want to talk about this stuff because I get traumatized about it, but these are really a Joseph Fritzls on a large scale. That's all I have to say about this. I don't have anything about when it comes to the German culture than what I stated. No, not everybody is like this. There were people that went on with, but regular people, with everything they have to help me out. But this stuff was regulated by the police, it was regulated by the government. But then again, was it really? Because the thing about it is that you cannot say to me that so many of you were all regulated by the police and by the government and so on. It's a simple thing. You could stop by here, you could meet me, and like they did. There was some Germans who did met me. They did came and met me and stuff like this. But this is just to get the conspiracy going, basically. You can accomplish anything with this kind of stuff. I did accomplish. Yes, I did. I got proofs about MK Ultra and so on. This is not proper term language I use right now. It was like this, that these people did stop here and they did give me a chance to identify them and stuff like this. But and I want to thank you. I sincerely want to thank you. But the thing about it is, it's not the way it's supposed to be, because the stuff like this never supposed to happen. And whatever happened to me in terms of even meeting people a year or 2 years ago or whatever years ago, I will never gonna make it up in time frame. My life, I'm 53. 53 years of my life was completely deleted in a process. And in 2012, I was thrown into the psychiatric hospital. So in this case, again, I'm going to say good existed for the evil. So the evil marched on. Evil marched on. Since 2012, you dumped me into psychiatric hospital. It was the Satanism that marched on, and the good existed for no other reason than to say, oh yeah, but we are here. You're where? You're fucking nowhere. That's why I said Joseph Fritzl culture all the way. Deutschland, Österreich, Joseph Fritzl all the way. You are Fritzl. Every fucking one of you is a Fritzl. There's nobody, not a single one of you that is not Joseph Fritzl. All of you are Fritzls. All of you. Every fucking one of you. You can say, yeah, we were here. You are where? Do you know what it means to be, we are here for you? It means to you that you come on a home and you help person. It means to you that you come here and you say, yes sir, I'm here. I'm here to help you out at your service. What would you like to know and this and that? Hey, you don't recall? Okay, let's sit in front of the computer. How about this? Do you recall this and this and that? That means to be at your service. In Canada, there was a case where a lady found itself jerked up during MK Ultra. It didn't take her more than to report the case, to talk about the case, not even to the police. They immediately stopped MK Ultra procedure and immediately compensated the lady for MK Ultra problems they did to her. And this MK Ultra did not even go for a very long time. It's like this everywhere around the world. And so you're gonna say, but there were so many people, and there was such a big, this is such a big thing, and there was such a big politicians. That's why I said, I'm here, sir, at your service. What can I do for you? Please, let's sit and let's talk about this and that. That's why more you were obligated. And that's why less I was obligated to do this stuff like this. Oh, we want you to do this so that you're going to prove, and you're going to have a physical proof, you're going to have evidence. Come on. Fuck you. Fuck you. You didn't want more. You wanted me dead. And I walk in the shadow of the dead still for 53 years. How do you prove by going and poisoning somebody, destroying somebody's health completely? Was it about my proving, or was it about your taking every opportunity, everything you had, with all your heart in it to get me killed? What was it? Which one was it? Which one is more likely here? It takes a person, they say genius is somebody who is genius. There is a little difference between the genius and between completely insane person. I don't want that little difference add to myself and convince myself into opposite than what I have gone through, opposite than what I tasted on my skin. Finally, if it was in such an interest to help me out, you would not traumatize, you would not do the stuff like the way you did. You will not use the ECT. You don't do that kind of stuff. It was worth it for me to go through all this stuff, so that people around the world can get proof about what MK Ultra is, what that's supposed to mean to be in MK Ultra. Maybe that's gonna save lives to people. I still want to thank German and Austrian people for, there was people in it, maybe even majority of the people in it, that in a way sympathized with me. There was some sort of sympathy, there was some sort of compassion, feeling of of something that not supposed to be, that was wrong, but it was there, but in a way there was nothing that can be done due to loss, due to unemployment and so on. But still there is no justification for this type of degree of crime. There is no justification for this stuff. And earlier I mentioned to you about, I am sick of this stuff about Angela Merkel and everything, about the Berlin and so on. They even dare to talk to me about, how much. I'm going to tell you how much that you profited from within. Whatever Kurt Waldheim started to accomplish, and even the stuff that he did not accomplish, you studied through my case. You Germans and Austrians, you studied through my case. And you learned that once I labeled, and I did label Waldheim even as a Czech. I labeled him as a Czech. I even told him, because of the insults that he threw at me, that he's a Czech. did so because in this village, Sankt Andre Würden, they tortured the residents of this village, engaged in a torture. It was nice and it was not nice. Kurt Waldheim also demanded torture to be implemented against me. You know, nice and not nice, right? So I had enough of the stuff, especially in part number 1 video, just as you have seen on a Slovakian site about what went on, and with the Czech people. There was lynching that went on. And Kurt Waldheim depended at large on the Serbs because of the criminal case against one they had. Pay attention to this stuff here. You read about a Kurt Waldheim, you're gonna, where was the Kurt Waldheim in service? And then you're gonna read that it was also not only in Greece, but when it comes to Yugoslavia, he was also here in some Serbian parts of Yugoslavia. You see, Waldheim said he had served only as an interpreter, as a clerk, and had no knowledge either of reprisal against the local Serb civilians or of massacres in neighboring provinces of Yugoslavia. He said that he had known about certain things that happened and had been horrified but could not see what else he could have done about it. You see, Waldheim, Kozara, and so on. Read about this stuff here. Read about this stuff here. Yeah? And so the thing is that Serbs were crazy about Waldheim. Josip Broz Tito, who gave him a medal because Kurt Waldheim became a valuable asset for the Serbs. For the Serbs. Not for the Croats, not for the Slovenian people, not for the whoever, but for the Serbs. He became tool in the hands of Serbs, Czechs, Slovaks, Polacks. He became tool. He was a Nazi. He was guilty. They could find him guilty if they trialed him. They get him in Nuremberg. He probably would be guilty. They would find him probably with a lot of crimes. But they needed him. United Nations and so on, and in the center of all this, Germans, Austrians learned about the new type of economy. They said, who powered Germany and Austria? I did. I did the whole thing. Everything was done through me. So because of this violence that went on, he was seen as somebody who was needed, but who was not really liked. But once I labeled him as a Czech, and I did so because of the torture that went on, because Austrians worked together with the Russian KGB and with the Serbs. The Slovenian police literally tortured me with the Serbs. Serbs would be mainly delivering me to Kurt Waldheim when I was a child. Literally Serbs. They learned just how great this is. How awesome the fuck this is. The guy who saw himself as a German, once I labeled him as a Czech. I don't know, was he really hurt? Who knows? But he acted that he was hurt, and in a moment I did this, Serbs visually watched him, just as was the case with many other people. And once they saw him that he was hurt, he got like a top score from the Russian KGB and top score from the Serbs. He became extremely, extremely valuable to them. And of course, he added a little bit of the Hollywood to it. and acted more insulted than he was, and he was more torture, it was more bad stuff that was done, and of course then I was guilty of more stuff, and he was seen by the Serbs and by the Russians as a worker, as an Arbeiter, just as even Czech, whatever, in Austria and so on, who was basically rejected by the top German neo-Nazi, myself. That's how insane Russians and Serbs were. They wanted to present me to the Germans as a top German that was basically deciding literally, together with assistance of the German government, is very, very helpful. You can trust me that some Germans even felt dignified if I rejected them, because everybody wanted to be as much German as possible around me. And with my giving like a little sign, the governments would amplify that into, usually in some cases, into tragedies. This is the amplitude of this criminality of this case, that governments, this is what happens when the case is so big. This is how it works. And this is literally how also Kurt Waldheim disappeared from the picture. This is where we are coming close to this video, end of this video. Kurt Waldheim started to engage only in violence, these neighbors and everything in this village. It was time for him to disappear after his make decision after his presidential term in Austria, that he must either disappear or that he could have serious problems. I had a problem with the US Justice Department of State because of him. The people literally death threatening me, guaranteeing me death because of this guy. If I would continue to see myself in him. And this is basically death certificate issue, which was issued to him on June 14, 2007, is how he disappeared from the picture. He was not the only one. There was many others. I will not talk about in this video. And many other Austrians, Germans, in a similar fashion disappeared through fake death certificates. Well, they have Israelis investigate potential people like this, and this is how the German trade. When I told you that I am a father of German economy, everything that was based on this case, its entire psychology, and upon the fall of the Soviet Union, trade, oil, gas trade between the Russia and Germany and Austria, you might think that's unlikely. This is the way it is. Your entire economy in Germany and Austria, absolutely everything, the relations to which Americans started to envy on unlikely locations, such as was the one, let's say, also in Africa, let's say, in Uganda and so on. All that stuff. Yeah. Read his resume. Read this resume here about Idi Aman. Idi Aman was involved, you know. Idi Aman was involved in this stuff. I know about all this stuff here. All this stuff here. All this. Everything. They had me involved in all this stuff. Everything that you read on the under his resume. Israel better be quiet about, because Israel used me more, maybe more, I don't know, maybe more than Germans, I don't know. Don't fucking say about what went on in Syria, in all these countries around Israel, for the sake of the Israel and so on. Espionage like. This is die Wahrheit, about your Würde, Stolz und Ehre, Kurt Waldheim. Let me finish with Mr. Fisher. Let's go to the Alexander von der Bellen. Alexander von der Bellen is a man who, of course, knew Kurt Waldheim personally, but he was asked by people to stop this, and this is the person who is directly responsible, who did absolutely everything possible to get me killed for my case. Not only because he refused to stop this case, but because he took the initiative in getting me killed by literally training a younger generation of the politicians, such as was Nehammer. Listen, but I'm going to put it something to you in a plain and simple. I was there when you were told by von der Bellen, when he told you, he said to you, in front of Waldheim, it was Waldheim who gave the instructions and have told von der Bellen. Nehammer and other younger politician, younger generation, who told them, yes, you will help him out, but not in such a way like the way we did so far. You're going to do this differently. You're going to do it in such a way that you're going to push him further and further and further away. You're going to do it in such a way so that he will be part of all this stuff, but that gradually, systematically, he will be driven away. And that's the way it was with the Slovenian police. They systematically started more and more even continued after the death of Kurt Waldheim in that area, to push me, to drive me away, further away as possible, In 2008, they went on everything and nothing to get me killed. It took them 4 years to get me into psychiatric hospital. 4 years of unimaginable bestiality performed on me. 5 years make it. I know who was behind this psychiatric hospitalization, how you wanted to get this stuff done. That's Deutschland, that's a real Austria. That's the real people, the real spirit of Austria and of the Germany. You took instructions from Waldheim. He took the instructions exactly in the way he told you, so that he would be safe away from it all. Yeah, he started to fake something that he was ill and so on, blah, 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 blah. My ass. And even so, and so what? And what I have out of his illness and everything? I had nothing. He didn't let me broke. He wanted me dead. It's a miracle I'm alive. And for that miracle I have to thank God, not you. For everything you have done everything possible was to get rid of me. Everything possible that could be done in this world. I got the free advice for you to drink a kraut tea. Zelishny chai. the flower tea, to eat a lot of garlic against the cancer, just as I stated in video number 1, which doesn't exist yet. Yeah, there were serious problems that you developed on my body. But if I started to do the stuff, I don't fucking end up dead, basically. If nothing else, to your advice, if not already to the stuff, everything you have done in Brussels, Strasbourg, and United Nations to block me, to prevent me from staying alive. And that's the only thing I can give you. I can give you the true. The true is a thank you. Von der Bellen didn't want any of that. Von der Bellen wanted only... Von der Bellen exercised in Vienna with his circle of politicians Mount Everest of bestiality, torture, lynching, and humiliation. His wife is Jewish. No, it's not Jewish. It's a dream about something about the Jews. About Jewish, Jew, Vienna, Jewish, Jew, whatever. Like, what the fuck I had to do with this anyways? This is the truth about this German politics, who they are, where they are heading to, and what exactly they do need to get past free ride for the Geschenk, for the free, to get more, to steal more. This is the way it is. This is the way it was. This is what entire German, entire Austrian politics was based upon. On this case, exactly the way I explained to you. Entire economy, everything. Now go back to your fucking Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is gonna tell you what you need. What you need to do and what you need to know. South African Germanoid is going to tell you how it is. There are two kinds of people in this world. One are Germanoids, Aryans, and then it's another class of people which I also am classified in. For the Germanoids is, I don't know how much is his worth, 450 billion people. For others is just a psychiatric hospital. It's for free anyways. It's a free world, right? Here's a date and time. Thanks for watching this video. Auf Wiedersehen. I'm not going to even say Auf Wiedersehen. I'm going to give you this for this video.